Just not too long ago, I was reminded of how fragile life is. I mean, just how fragile it is. And it seems like with every waking minute, every waking day, it feels like times get more difficult and difficult and more difficult. But you know what? You're here. You showed up. You got out the bed. You did something to move forward instead of staying put. You did something to progress in this thing called life versus just staying in the past. I applaud you. But your work is not done. Your work is not complete. Your work is not over. If you're thinking of harming yourself or you're thinking of harming somebody else, you just got to make 3 simple presses. Just 3, 9, 8, 8. Nothing more, nothing less. You don't got to give them your name. You don't got to tell them who you are. You just need to call somebody and talk to them. You don't have to share all this intimate information, but I can assure you, getting things off of your chest will change so much. It will make such a difference. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one that you can live with and get help. Now let's talk football.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Pride Nation, we back at it again. I was sick to my stomach. I had so many film studies to drop. I had so much stuff to put out. And my job just wasn't happening. It wasn't gonna happen. You know, my first priority is being husband and dad. Can't neglect that. Then it's like, you know, you work. And I just didn't have time to put it out. But I kept every single note. And today I am joined by a guest that I'm excited to have on. Someone who I know is going to check me. I get checked by a lot of people. I'm not offended by it, but I'm pretty sure he's going to check me. He checked me yesterday. Now I think about it. But that's my man from over there at the Questionable Podcast. My man, Miko, is in the building. What up, dude?
What up, though, Luke?
Hey, listen.
To be fair, you checked me a couple times as well. So, like,
I mean,
it was mutual.
To get perspective, though. I was trying to, just making sure we keep everything cool. Listen, people, this is going to be about an hour to an hour and a half show. I can't give you the full 2 hours a day, but let me just tell you, I'm going to address a lot of stuff. I'm going to snap on a few things and get into it. I think many of you are going to be surprised by my response today. And I'm going to try my best to keep Patty Luke in his room, okay? My best. There's no promises, but pray for me. All right, let's see who in the building with me. We got my man Mike Kidd, Looney Tune. Gino was in the building. Sheldon McCray, Kool-Aid Kid. We got my man Detroit Lions Talk with Jon Kapler in the building. He said, "Oh, this is going to be good." Oh my God! We got my man Easy Does It in the building. Super Saiyan Lion, Perry Baller's in the building. Paul Giroux's in the building. We got my man Kobe, Lions Rumble 81. We got my man Nemesis Breaks in the building. We got my man, I'm not going to buy Josh is in his bag. I like how you did that there. I caught that. We got my man Craig Ferguson in there. Midwest Lion. Makai Holt is in there. Lions Fan Express, my good brother. When I drop the link in there, please feel free to jump in. I'm gonna try my best to ram through this stuff quickly and give y'all time to come in and let y'all talk. My man 1991, Matt Stagg is in the building. We got One Funky Lion Fan. I love actually having faith. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm leaving Patty Luke locked up. Super Saiyan Line. We got my man Chris Wallace. Detroit Made Me is in here. We got this is a new one for me. I never saw this one. Can't wait to hear your take. Is that Paja? Is that how you would say that, Miko? Paja?
I would say Paj.
Podge. Okay, I want to make sure I don't botch the name. I suck at names. Y'all know it. So when I get it, I'm happy about it. My man Mark Mellis is in the building. Obviously, Miko, who's on the show with the nice tee on and the nice beard and the hat. I don't know if y'all ever noticed this, but my man Miko makes sure that everything's got the coordinate. You know, it's got the coordinate. All right. We got my man's Michael Rimmer in the building. And let me see. Make sure I fit somebody. Chris Foster is in the building. Go Lions, D-Map Zoom. It says unlock Patty Luke.
You gotta put in the code. You gotta left down. What's it?
Hey, you're right. Yeah, you up, down, left, right. CABB or something like that. Look, First thing, let me just get out the way. Here's my take on the whole suspension of the Lions players. Don't care. He broke a rule. He was dumb to go about it. He knew better, should have did better. There's no excuse for it. To the people who are making excuses for them, y'all need help. It's no different than if you were at work and you were looking at porn on your computer. You're going to get slapped for that. It is what it is. And he needed to do some things different. I don't want to hear how stupid the rule is. He needed to be better about it. For people like CJ Moore, to all you who had to tell me how great special teams is and all the importance of it and everything like that, hold my beer. He wasn't that important. They got rid of him swiftly. So I don't want to hear about it. And lastly, what else there that happened over the time? That's pretty much it. Let's get into this damn first round of the draft because this is where it's going to start. Now, me and Miko had some fun with it. I was over there on Questionable talking the draft with them, and I slapped on it. And I'm pretty sure you slapped on it too, Miko, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Had to.
Now, I woke up and nothing changed about my emotions. Nothing. I literally had no difference. So. I felt the same. So before I go ahead and go in, Miko, give me your thoughts. Now that you had a little rest, a little time to think on it, about what the Lions did in the first round.
So, like you, I slept on it, woke up this morning, and I feel the same way. And if those of you didn't get to catch our stream yesterday, what I basically said was after seeing who the Lions picked, taking Jahmyr Gibbs at 12, taking Jack Campbell at 18, I love these players. Like as individual players, I love them. I would have, Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. If you would have told me you were getting those two guys in the second round, I would have been jumping for joy. I would have been like, oh, Brad Holmes just killed the second round. But Luke said something to me yesterday, I think prior to the Jahmyr Gibbs pick, or maybe it was after, but he basically said like, hey, if you love a player, does it really matter when they're picked?
Nope.
And it was like, no, not really. Right. And that's what it comes down to me. So I love the players. There's nothing I have to knock the players. I have nothing negative to say about them as individual players. I do believe they bring added skill sets and added talent to this football team. The tough part for me, the part that I've been wrestling with and trying to get over is the fact that like this is not what I was expecting. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's kind of like when you were a kid, Luke, and you'd make your Christmas list, right? And you went to the store with your parents and you got to see the stuff like, oh, that's not that expensive. Like they could actually probably get that because you think your parents' budget based off of, where they work or whatever. You like, no, they can probably get that. That'll probably be under the Christmas tree and this, that, and the third. And then you get there and it's not exactly the toy that you wanted. Like it's close proximity, but it's not exactly what you wanted. And that's kind of how I feel, where it's just like, it's a little bit of shock and awe where it's like, all right, I like what I have. Like I didn't get cheated in that sense, but it's just not what I was expecting. That's all I can basically say at this point. It's not what I was expecting in the first round.
I think having expectations is a good thing, right? But one of the downsides to having expectations is it could go the opposite of what you say, which lets you down in that expectation view. Here's my overall take of what happened with the Detroit Lions. And I stand by this. I know Steve-O doesn't agree with this. He says, I don't agree with this, that position value is a real thing. It's not. It's not. Nobody cares. All right. It's been a lot of quarterbacks taken first overall who have not panned out. It's been a lot of quarterbacks taken second overall who has not panned out. It's been running backs taken in the fifth round who were absolutely studs. Nobody cares unless the player's right. And the only thing that most of you guys who told me to trust in the process and trust Brad Holmes and that Brad Holmes the greatest GM in Lions history, don't abandon ship now. Don't lose faith now. Don't start wavering on me now. You see, the way I see it is this. I was told I was crazy about taking a running back in the first. Miko, I'm pretty sure you told me the same thing. You said,
"Oh yeah, no, I absolutely."
I said you have to look at the approach of what the Lions are doing. And I said, if you are taking the running back, at least he's going to have the most immediate impact of any person. And I was clear about that. I was very clear. And all I see is a bunch of people who can't wrap their head around what you just talked about, which was expectation.
Right.
Now, do I love Jahmyr Gibbs? I don't love him or I don't hate him. Do I love Jack Campbell? I made a video about it. Feel free to check it out. Okay?
Yeah.
But the reality is this. Whether you like the picks or not, if you were in the camp of trust your general manager, then stay in that same camp. Don't hop off the wagon because you feel like it went a different direction if it's still going to get you to the same result. Because I can sit here right now at this moment and based on emotions and tell you, oh my God, you took Jahmyr Gibbs and this and this. But if Jahmyr Gibbs comes in and blows everything up and lights the world up, you think I give a care? No. My biggest issue, Miko, is this. This is my biggest issue. He did it again. He did what I've always seen. He invested high end on offense and went cheap on defense. And while we did get a linebacker, which, by the way, we needed, because I'm trying to keep Patty Luke back, so y'all going to have to bear with me. All right? I'm trying to keep him back. But we needed a linebacker. So, to the people out there who told me that Malcolm Rodriguez is a starting linebacker, apparently the general manager who took him don't believe so. And please spare me this talk about we're going to a 4-3. We're going to put our 3 guys. We're not.
No, they're not.
They're not. They're going to keep that same 2 linebackers out there, a.k.a. Alex Anzalone and Jack Campbell. So to you people who was all hyping up Malcolm Rodriguez because he was on Hard Knocks and had on cowboy boots and a nice hat, hold my beer. To you people out there who talked about positional value, and your general manager comes out and says the following, everybody made mock drafts and we don't care about that. We don't care about the positional value. We took who we thought was the best on our board. And then it comes out today by Tom Pelissero, who says Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes were ready to take Gibbs at 6. It's the audacity for me. Hold my beer.
But hold on. Because I knew that was going to set you off. But for me, like I give Brad like a round of applause for doing the smart thing, right? Because you traded back. You traded back and you didn't.
Which is what we wanted.
Right. Which is what, I mean, because if you're going to take Jahmyr Gibbs, if you're like, no, Jahmyr Gibbs is our top number 1 player. And if Jahmyr Gibbs would have went before Bijan, we really would have lost our minds. The fan base would have really lost their minds. But instead of that, he understood, like, trust your gut. Trust that player is going to be there and trade back, acquire more picks. And he did the right thing, the smart thing in the sense of, hey, cool, this is a guy that's high on your board. He's the number 1 player on your board based off of who's already been taken. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can't take him at 6. Not if there's an opportunity to trade back and get additional value.
And I'm going to tell you this. I call cap on that. I think that's a lie. I think whatever or whoever told Tom Pelissero that they would have took Gibbs at 6, they're lying. I think what they did was they gambled and they went with their second best option. I think they was hoping that Bijan fell to them at 12 and he didn't make it. And so they said, you know what, scratch this. We only got 2 running backs that we like a whole lot, and they went with the second option. I don't buy for one moment. And then everybody who's going around saying the following, well, what happened was the Seattle Seahawks messed up their draft when they took Devin Witherspoon. No, they didn't. I
don't think they were going to take Devin Witherspoon.
Nope. They were always taking the guy who can help them immediately. Immediately. They was going to do that. So when I'm telling y'all that, I'm telling y'all to hold beers, I'm telling you, don't get drunk. I got much more coming. Because the pick of Gibbs trigger my historian meters for the NFL. And it became very clear to me what Brad Holmes is trying to do.
Talk to me.
This is a take that nobody has brought up. This is a take that nobody's going to talk about. And I'm going to give it to you in a way that we can follow it. Because what I don't want you to do is lose me when I get down on this, all right? I know y'all not going to like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to make sure I ease it in real smooth. It's going to be like that first time you found her, okay? It's going to be easy, but a little difficult, all right? Let me get into this. But before I do that, I want to bring in one more person because my man, I ain't seen him in a long time, especially since he been home. I ain't seen him. He's still been rocking here 24/7. My man, Lions Rumble 81 is in the building. What up, dude?
What up, though, gentlemen? Luke,
good,
Miko, what's good, man?
It's
yeah,
good.
Man. I'm out on assignment here in West Virginia. But yeah, man, I enjoyed the stream last night. And of course, Luke, I had to come here and represent, man.
Hey, 100%. Again, the link is in the description because I know what I'm finna say finna upset a lot of y'all. Miko, Miko. Rumble, before I get going, I'm gonna let you give me your reaction to what they did in the first round. I think that most Lion fans are just mad because that they didn't get who they want. And that's what I heard all season. Oh, you just mad because we didn't get Kyle Hamilton. No, we need a secondary help. Everything I ever said was always in the position of getting us better. You needed secondary help. And what happened? You had the DN and teams lit your ass up in the air. That's not my business, but tell me your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think I think you guys all make valid points. Listen, we need dogs, man. And I believe, that running back put, I hate to say it, DeAndre Swift on the chopping block or trading block at this point. He can't stay healthy. He was given a task, of course, by Deuce Staley. He was like, we just need you to play. Sometimes you need to play through certain injuries. And to me, I think it's too much for him. I think I think he's a number 2. That's just what he is. Some guys get drafted high, and we just know that they're going to be, unfortunately, number 2s. And I don't think he wants to be a number 1. In my opinion, but the guy from Alabama, I feel like, with Ben Johnson, again, this is a guy who wasn't who's going to be fresh, who's going to be, they can train him the way they want to. I think Swift kind of had a bad taste in his mouth for some reason, and then when a real coach got his hands on him, it was already done. But I like Jack Campbell. I think that with Jack Campbell, we're going to get a Chris Spielman-esque type player. Somebody who's going to.
I hate that comparison, Rumble. I'm sorry.
I do. I
hate that comparison because you know what? Because that's not good enough. And I'm gonna be honest with you. He's closer to Leighton Vander Esch, or if I had to go in a different direction, and again, this is just me. Y'all can take it or leave it. He's closer to Leighton Vander Esch than he is Spielman, and I think he's even more closer to Lance Briggs in some fashion than he is to Spielman, because he will come down from time to time and make some booms. It's just the poor angles that he got to work on. It's the getting off the blocks he got to work on. It's the not waiting for people to come to you and you going to them. He got to work on.
And I think, Calvin Shepard's going to get him right.
Yeah,
I was going to say, and I think that's what gives me hope in Jack Campbell, because I think. Yes. And saying what I was saying earlier, like, I like everything about Jack Campbell. It's just like you're saying, Luke, if you can get him to process a little faster, it's not like he can't process. It's not like he doesn't see it. It's just getting him to fire off quicker. Trust what you see and go where you're supposed to go. Everything we're hearing about him in this draft process is that he's smart. He studies. He's a student of the game. Great. You have all of the makings of a good middle linebacker. If you can just get him to understand the NFL game and understand how quickly you have to process, then great. Yes, his floor is probably Leighton Vander Esch. Ceiling, I mean, if you can even get within like Luke Kuechly light, then like I'd be happy.
Right. I mean, you essentially trying to do that. Now, again, this is just me trying to give it a little bit of what I'm seeing. I follow history, and history will be the greatest teacher if you respect it, okay? And I respect the hell out of history. So I want to dispel 2 things. We did not get the better of the 2 backs. This idea that, Bijan Robinson was not a fit for us is something to make you feel better. Don't lie to yourself like that, okay? It's not just not the case, all right? It's a reason why he was taken 8th overall, okay? And that's not for kicks, all right. But secondly, to the people who says, he's basically like having J-Mo in the backfield at running back. No, no. Stop with these false narratives. We're not going to do that. To the people who say, he essentially makes it easier for us since J-Mo going to be hurt, going to be out for 6 weeks. This is the worst one of them all, because guess what? You didn't even have J-Mo all last season, and you still had a top 3 scoring offense. So I don't want to hear that neither. What this pick is a direct sign into history. It's a direct move that I believe the history that's going to come up. So everything that Gibbs can do in terms of catch up the backfield, Bijan can do. I think Bijan's a better blocker than Gibbs. I think Bijan's a better runner than Gibbs. I think Bijan has better vision than Gibbs. I think he's a better between the tackle runner than Gibbs. I think Gibbs is a better take it to a house guy in terms of that first cut and go, right? Now, why does all that matter? Because now I'm about to get into making it make sense for my man Steve-O. Brad Holmes, and I didn't realize this until it was too late. Brad Holmes is a historian. I'm going to bring this up. He's trying to recreate the greatest show on turf. And he's doing it in a strategic way. If you look at the greatest show on turf, right now what you're looking at is their first year. This is the year where they became realized and nobody caught on to what they did. And in that year, they went 13-3. They had the number one scoring offense, and their defense was fourth, right?
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay, they were doing some things. And you can see how far they got. You can see they won the Super Bowl that year. They had the defense. And they really didn't spend too much on there. They had Leonard Little and, little names here and there, but nothing that you would be like, hey, these are the guys. And then the following year, they had the number one scoring offense again. That defense went all the way down to 31st. And they still somehow won 10 games. And you can look at the progression. They lost in the wild card, but they wasn't quite ready to shake it out. And then that following year, they went 14-2 and had a defense that finished 7th. And guess what's different about all of that? What's different about all of that? That's the one they finally lost to the New England Patriots. But the difference was, in all of those times, they never really fully invested in their defense. They had a few people that you can go, yeah, that was decent, but they were coming out with safeties that we have time forgot about, that nobody even talks about no more. And I think what he saw is, if I can create this offense that mirrors the greatest show on turf, I'll have a guy that's similar to Marshall Faulk who can catch the ball at the backfield, make one cut, and get the hell up the field and go. Hey, there go your Gibbs. I can have a fast receiver like Torrey Holt. There's your Jameson Williams. I can have another fast receiver or a half-decent receiver like Isaac Bruce. And then he adds in Oz Hakeem. And then you go and look at St. Brown. You go and look at the fact that they're betting on people like Khalif Raymond and Josh. He's recreating this. When you look at who the tight ends were during that era, it's not even funny. So when you look at off rip, nobody remembers these tight ends. Nobody. I mean, look at the tight end numbers. And you can almost argue between Brock Wright and Zistro that this is a similar format. You can almost argue that their running back style of having a guy who can run the ball and catch it out the backfield, and Gibbs is the same. You can argue that Isaac Bruce is closer to, say, somebody in the form of Amon-Ra St. Brown than other people. And you look at the offensive line. One of their biggest pieces was Orlando Pace. In our case, it was Penei Sewell. History will repeat itself when you allow it to. And you get down to the defense.
Hey, is that Ray Agnew on the D-line?
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I can't make this stuff up. They went out and added Kevin Carter, right? The guy played all the time, 17 sacks, right? Look at the defense. Look at the linebackers. They added London Fletcher, and this is in 1999. They were literally not trying to spend the money. Look at the ages of these people of this roster in 1999. Look at the damn safeties. Who in the hell remember Keith Lyle? I certainly don't. I forgot he even played. Billy Jenkins, don't remember. Todd Light, don't remember. And the guy had 6 interceptions. Dexter McClain, no, I don't remember these people. There was no investment in the defense, but it was about creating a unit that was cohesive. And what Brad Holmes has decided to do is follow suit on history. We're going to outscore you, and I'm going to have a defense that ranks between 15 and 7. And God forbid if I ever hit 4, because shame on you, we will score 40-something points. This is what these moves were. To the people who don't like the Gibbs pick because it was at 12, fine. Don't like it. We needed a running back. Don't care what you say. We needed one. And if they try to trade Swift, I think that's a foolish move in my opinion, but whatever. I wouldn't. Because if Gibbs gets hurt in training camp or Montgomery gets hurt in training camp, and now you don't trade it away Swift, I guess Craig Reynolds time, huh? No.
What's the over-under? Swift is injured.
I'm just telling you what I would do.
I mean, Swift will probably, like, over under, he's still probably going to miss 5 games, right? Swift is probably going to miss 5 games.
Probably.
but I think, like, but if you got Swift, Gibbs, and Montgomery, like, you can afford for Swift to miss 5 games. Like, to me, that's why Gibbs was the pick, is because that running game drastically changed when Swift wasn't out there. Jamal was getting the touchdowns, but when we're talking about being a productive rushing game, it wasn't there. It became the opposite of what it was when we used to have Theo Riddick. Whenever Theo Riddick was in the game, people knew, oh, it's a halfback option. It's a halfback option every time. And with Jamal, it became a thing of like, if Jamal's back there, he's running power. He's running into one A or B gap. Pick a gap, he gonna be there. With Jahmyr Gibbs, you finally get that same type of versatility that you had with Swift, where it's like, okay, is he going to go flex out wide? Is he going to run a screen? Is he going to run outside? What are you going to do with Jahmyr Gibbs? And then you still have David Montgomery. And to Luke's point, that's why I would keep Swift, because then you can just rotate those guys where, like, you never get a break. You never get a chance to just zero in on what you think this offense is doing.
Nope. Now, to add more to what I did, I just followed the history. I decided to go and look at the rest of the roster. Right? Because again, there are certain people. Dre Bly, who is now a positional coach on our team, started 2 games. Right? They were already rotating in these new guys, keeping it cheap. And I know Steve said this is what the modern NFL looks like, but I disagree. I think that you have to have some form of game plan where you're going to have a direction in terms of it. And I think in most cases, I would much rather have a defense that's more stout than the opposition. But nonetheless, I just want y'all to look at the roster. Don't overthink this. These backup quarterbacks and all this. No. Kurt Warner wasn't drafted by them. You know how this went. I was going to
say, yeah, well, we all know the story about Kurt Warner.
Right?
Oh, my God, it's going to be Hendon Hooker. They're going to draft Hendon Hooker.
Don't get me started. You don't have my spirit going too high. I'm not there yet.
That's basically what you just told me. It's either Hendon Hooker or Stetson Bennett.
I'm just not there yet. Now, I say all that to say this. If you believe positional value matters, kudos to you. Brad Holmes said it don't. So go and argue with him, not me. I told you it didn't matter. So argue with him. If you believe that Michael Rodriguez should be a starter, I'm gonna pray for you. You might want to get some help. I can almost refer you somewhere. Okay? But it's just no point. Now, I say all that to say this. This is what the direction looks like now. And we still have 3 picks. And I have 3 players that I just think that the Lions need to take. But before I get into that, let me bring in somebody who decided to bravely go where no man has gone before and jump in on this thing. My man Chris Wallace is in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's the deal, family? What up, though?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Glad to have you, man. Listen, tell me what you got. Tell me how you felt about the first pick. Tell me what you think about my view that he's just literally trying to recreate the greatest show on turf.
Okay, so from what I gather, when I was watching the draft, and I have my own little draft board and things that and this is the thing that people don't understand or choose not to understand about the draft. You can look at the mocks all you want. We can argue and debate all the best opinions, but guess what? At the end of the day, it's their choice. And we going to have to live with it because we fans, whether we like it or don't like it. But I go to say this. I feel like I don't really get too caught up with the whole rumors and stuff, but them picking the running back at 6 is no. Come on now. And it's Brad Holmes. He's not gonna do that. We've seen him literally fleece people before, and you think he's gonna do that? He still got the same guy and an additional second. So he actually did exactly what he wanted to do. I believe that they have a plan and they sticking to it to the best of their ability. The player that, that they feel that they initially wanted might not have went, but like at the end of the day, people, when y'all gonna realize that he don't care about the name. He don't care about who's the top prospect. Yeah, he's gonna pay attention, and if they fall and he feel like they can help and he feel like they are part of the culture, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And guess what? When you got 12, 11 guys, doing what they do together and mesh well, that's how you build the defense. It's not one guy. When you got a collective of people who's gonna sit up there, okay, there's no flight zone. Oh, you're not running. Oh, you're not doing this. And it's like, I'm not against what he's doing. Like at the end of the day, I'm understanding, even though it's things that I didn't expect, because I was completely surprised, but I'm not mad at it. Like, dude got home run speed. Everybody who claimed they a Lion fan should have known that Swift days was coming. And honestly, it's like, everybody, oh yeah, well, Swift can do this, Swift can do that. Okay, tell me when the last time he did that. Dude can't even stay on the field. He's not healthy. We need people that's going to come in, contribute, and just like you said, that's going to be an instant plug in, and he's going to contribute. And then, Montgomery is basically the bruiser of the group. So like we essentially got a better DeAndre Swift, younger, healthier, and like you said, we can, shape him and do whatever. Now, that goes to your saying about, him trying to recreate. He possibly could be, and honestly, that's not a bad thing. Because if you could create a bad thing, if you could create a team,
I will say this: that defense still needs to be addressed.
And yeah, I think most of the next remaining picks, especially in the second, is going to be defense, because the linebacker room, as far as the draft go, there wasn't a lot of, like, it was very slim to none. Like, after a certain amount of players, probably literally who they have, you had Anderson, and then what was the other guy? What is the other guy? Because somebody, was it Nolan Smith or something like that? Or
yeah, Nolan Smith out of Georgia.
Yeah, so like, yeah, it was a couple guys, but it was like after that, like, who else do anybody know? And at that point, not only did you pick somebody and then this whole thing with Rodriguez, I'm tired. Like, who started this? It's like you purposely, it's like they purposely injected COVID into the system, and everybody is just like, oh my God, yeah, we're gonna believe this. No, like Marco Rodriguez, like, and I'm gonna tell you this, right? That linebacker that we just drafted, he's going to replace him. But at the end of the day, Rodriguez is he's deaf, and you can still plug him in, on running downs or whatever, because the dude has assets, but he's not a starter. And anybody who was cheering that on, I'm sorry, but you're retarded. Like, you need to go get checked out, because that's just not. Luke said he wasn't going to be petty today. I did not make such a statement. So,
listen, I'm doing good holding to it, because what I'm trying to do is,
man, I was going to get on here and encourage you. I was just going to play some petty music.
I'm trying to keep
because they need to hear it, man. Like, at the end of the day, these fantasy and then this the thing that pees me off. Okay, like the position value, I do not believe in that whatsoever. I even do it on Madden. They always, oh, you took this person high, too high. And guess what? By the end of the year, he win an MVP. He doing all type of crap, because I'm looking at the tangibles as far as speed and stuff. Because there's certain things you can't teach. You can't teach 6'5" at the speed that he can. I mean, he's not the quickest, but like the dude
4.6 is pretty quick. 4.6 is pretty quick.
For a 6'5" linebacker.
Well, he also had I think he also had one of the better 10-yard splits. Like, his short area quickness was the best.
And then look at the dude accolades. Like, he was a captain. He, you know what I'm saying? The dude is not like a nobody. Is not the shiniest tool or the shiniest toy. So everybody wanted to downplay it. But when he out there smacking people for tackles for losses and out there getting, fumble recoveries or even interceptions, maybe then it's going to be because Hutch was just the ideal. That's the only reason why, we even drafted him. It was a position of need. He wanted to come there. He fit it. You know what I'm saying? And it was a nice little piece to build around. That's the only reason why that big name splashed. And then you had two. Like, anybody you picked that was going to be a super top prospect. But I understand what Brad Holmes is doing. I'm gonna get the linebackers. I'm gonna build my defense cheap, but the result is, in my mind, the result is this is gonna be at least a top 10 defense. We gonna get and who gonna be mad at the running back pick? Because I'm not, dude. Like our offense just got even that much more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I allude to what you said. Everybody, oh, well, he's replacing, J-Mo for the 6th game. No, don't do that. You sound stupid because, like you said, we was balling when J-Mo was on the sideline injured.
Correct. And what this is about is what I identified in the first place is you need you're drafting with a luxury pick. You need to take somebody who's going to have impact. Now, let me just give you my concerns, because there are concerns that I must address. There's some parts when it comes to Campbell's game that I can't shake that. I can't shake and act like, oh no, that's not what's going on here. You know what I mean? And that part of that is he doesn't get off blocks. Part of that is he doesn't always shoot the gap right. Part of it is he doesn't always take the right lanes. And part of it is he waits for contact to come to him.
Right.
He's not a very good blitzer. So I don't expect to see him in on that. But I can tell you this much. Is he better than Malcolm Rodriguez? Yes. Is he better than Alex Anzalone? Yes.
Yes. He's an instant starter. Anybody who think otherwise is like really like at the end of the day, all Anzalone is at this point is just the veteran who gonna usher in the young guys.
And again, I'm only doing this way because people always think I just hate people. You just hate this guy because
I'm gonna tell you what it is, Luke. People get drunk off their own fantasy that they sipping on because listen, we can get the girl, we can get the girl of our dreams. That don't mean she don't got flaws. We all have something.
Yep.
But you have to take the pros with the cons. You have to see, like, just like love, for instance. People think that love is, I'm doing this or doing that. No, love is patience and tolerance with that person. Do I want to deal?
He trying to get church going up in here today.
I mean, I'm just saying because
he out here trying to get somebody married, man. He trying
they need to. No. Honestly, look. If you a fan and you say you a fan, you trust Brad Holmes, you married. Till death do you part. You know what I'm saying? You gotta ride with the train the whole way there. You can't get off when shit look bleak. Because it's not, or it's not falling in your perspective. Like at the end of the day, the man got a plan, even if it's not what our plans is. We fans, and we always gonna have an opinion. We always gonna want. But at the end of the day, I don't care who got picked at what. If we over here playing for the Super Bowl, or we hit the playoffs and we done won 2 games in the playoffs, we NFC champs, so we win the division. Then what? Like all of that bull crap go out the window.
And unfortunately, that's just the reality. That's just the reality. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news about it.
I'm gonna be honest with you on one more thing. And this is the thing I did love, and this is why I'm not mad at the 12th pick, because not only did he trade back, he gave us another pick in the second. Like, if people understand how drafts works, the second round is where you really start getting your juice, and like, cause the talent about to start falling off at, what I'm saying, close. I mean, you still get gems, obviously, and we've seen that, but it's like when you talking about players, because at this point, anybody that you draft almost can start, because that's how trash, that's how weak rather are, the positions are. And it's like, okay, we didn't get the top prospects as far as cornerbacks. We still, Joey Porter Jr. is still on the board. Like, we have still people that can come in and still is going to, either fight to be on the field for a job, or they're going to be a starter. Like, because at the end of the day, we only got like 2 corners that's actually signed. So,
well, again, I'm not knocking nothing you said, Chris. I appreciate you for coming in. I want to hit on a few more points because I don't want them to show too long. But I'm picking up what you're putting down, man. Thank you for coming in and rocking. And
always.
I can't get mad, man. Hopefully you stay with us and you keep on listening, man.
Oh yeah, always.
100%. All right, listen, man. Listen, Chris came in. He came in trying to give love connections and
man, he spit facts though. But I can't disagree with nothing he said.
But again, my only thing is I still have concerns. Like I don't believe Gibbs is a day one starter. That is a concern for me. I believe that he's a swing guy. I think Montgomery is the starter. He's the relief. And I don't like that part of it, because I believe anything I take in the first round needs to be on the field immediately. That's me.
I kind of
like-
think he's. Go ahead, Miko. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, I think starting at running back is relative because nobody's a full-time starter. Like David Montgomery might be out there on first down, but that don't mean that he's gonna get like all the touches. He may be there at kickoff, but that doesn't mean that can be like Jahmyr Gibbs can still be the more impactful running back.
Yeah, but I'm not talking impact. I'm talking day one starter, right?
And
But I think that's what I said. Like, I think that's relative. Like,
that's fair. No, that's fair. I'm not. Can't even, Miko, I can't even debate you on that. That is a fair point that you make. That's relative. I'm just looking at it and saying that I can do some things where I could have had some people to help me in some areas that still need help and prayer. But go ahead, my man's Rumble.
I think Gibbs is what you. I think I don't know who said it, but I think Gibbs is there for Swift. It's like, hey, we brought a guy in. You're either gonna show us that all the time we invested in you is gonna pay off, or we're gonna get rid of you. We got a guy who's eager. The thing is with Gibbs, he's eager. He wants to be an NFL star, and like this whole culture thing, Swift to me just seems like he checked out like a season ago. I hate to say that, but it just seems like
I don't blame him though.
Another Patricia pick.
You draft him and then go out and get Adrian Peterson, start him. Then you tell him next year you're the starter. Then go out and get Jamal Williams and start him.
That's Patricia.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, like you got but then Dan Campbell came in and did the same thing, and then you basically gave Jamal all the carries and like.
Yeah, even after he performed.
And you gave him touchdown carries. I think that's probably the more insulting thing too. Like, it's one thing if like, all right, cool, we're gonna split carries, that's no problem. Every goal line touch is his. Like, bro, like I can't get like, and the thing that's crazy is that DeAndre still went out there and got 8 touchdowns on his own, but it's like, bro, you gave him 17 of them.
Yeah. Listen, take a step further, Miko. That man, Jamal Williams, got hurt, and Swift was hot as fire and got benched after Jamal came back. So, again, I have my concerns. Now, I want to let my man John come in, but let me answer this question from Marcus Willis. It says, but is Campbell better than Barnes? I can't tell you what Barnes is because I believe they're using him.
Middle linebacker he is.
Yeah, I mean, a middle linebacker, sure. But I think
he's a better middle linebacker.
I think he's supposed to be an outside linebacker who's rushing, and I don't think they're using Barnes right. However, I think Barnes is better than Enrod, and I'm like, yo, this idea that Enrod was so special, and I'm like, yo, what? I stand by my statement. He would not have started on any other team. Let me bring my man Jon Kapler in the building so he can talk his talk, and then I'm gonna get into a few more things. Try to make it as fast as possible. My man's John, what up, though?
Ooh, my fucking blood pressure.
Already, John. Already. All right, John. Go ahead.
I got a question for everybody here, everybody in the comment section. I don't know who's here, but so why didn't we win last year? Why did we only start doing good come week 12? What was the reason we lost? What was our deficiency?
Well, it's always been defense.
Oh, there you go. So when you're ranked 30th, 31st, and 32nd up until week 14, you draft what to make your team better?
You would think. You would think
I'm not
defense.
saying, I want okay, Luke said it. All right, everybody else in the panel, what do we draft?
A kicker.
I mean, I get your point, John, but I think what you have to do is this. I'm with you.
And I heard your LA Rams thing. I heard the greatest show on turf thing, and I thought about that, and I was talking about that with my uncle. I go, it's kind of leaning towards that, but are we going to look back? And, I kind of got into it with Don Burr and the introduction meeting when they had the introduction meeting for Jahmyr Gibbs and the chat thing, whatnot. But are we going to look back on some defensive people that we should have taken? And I think Brad Holmes got scared and was like, what do we do? What do we do? The person we want isn't there. Are we going to sit back and go, damn, Gonzalez is doing really good in New England? Oh,
that's going to be.
I think only
they're the Philadelphia Bulldogs. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs
only if Gibbs doesn't pan out.
Like defense, yes. I heard the thing like, let's just score way more points than the offense. But how about we fix the defense, considering our offense was damn good, finish getting the defense to where our offense is, and then do that stuff next year.
I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'm pretty sure Miko has a viewpoint that doesn't necessarily disagree with you, but is also looking at it. It's hinged upon
And the
those
fact
other
that our
people.
coaching staff seems to think we can just draft guys later on and we can make them better.
Well,
What does that
again,
sound like? Who does
again,
that sound like? We'll draft players, and us, the coaching staff, will make these mediocre players good players. Oh, that's right, that fucking Patricia.
Again, all of that and what you're saying is me basically saying to you, I get what you're saying. You're not going to get me to disagree with you. I have been screaming about defense for the last 5 years. I know to the people who told me it take 3 years to change culture, hold my beer. Right? I keep trying to tell y'all subscribe to the most bullshit I've ever seen in my life. It's not necessary.
Well,
So what I'm saying,
we're not
hold on,
Detroit Lions staffers.
Hold on, John.
We're just fans. We don't know nothing about our damn team. So we should just sit back and walk off the damn cliff.
Okay, so
because we're just
the
fans.
thing that I look at is this, and I think that it's a simple thing. I get that we want to address the thing, but that now kind of segues into the second round for me, and it's a perfect segue in my opinion because now we can talk about what it is. Now, before I get into that, I want to answer this question by Will, and then John, I'm gonna let you go so I can keep us. I want to keep us going, so I keep it a shorter show. But I do appreciate you coming through, and trust me, I hear you. I hear you. But my goal today is to try to help those who are hating all of this understand what the objectives are and why they're doing what they're doing, and why there's still, at least you can pray for it. I can say a little bit of opportunity for you to see if you can get a different outcome. But you know me, man. Love you for coming through, brother. And
end of the draft, we'll find out, brother. We will find out.
We will find out. That's my man Jon Kapler. Check out the YouTube channel with Detroit Lions Talk with my man Jon Kapler over there. Shout it out. Listen, I gotta answer this question from William. You want to know what does Campbell do well? Go look at my video. I don't know what to tell you. You want to know what he do well? Look at my video. I don't think I've been shy about anything. Okay, so off rip, if you want to talk about what he does well, let's go look at the video. But we can also do the following things too. So for the people who doesn't like me being critical of people, because this is what this question really is about. It's about me not being critical of players. All right. This is not me changing the video in form or any form of fashion. If you don't watch my video, then I understand why you're confused by a lot of the things I'm getting ready to say. But if you did watch the video, you would know what the good was. And at the end of the day, this little beautiful arrow that's been placed here is so you can see what's going on. This, under no circumstance, should never happen. This is not me making it up. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. When was he going to move? So if you want to know what I said good about him, just go watch the video. You want to see him get off a block? Just watch how he just gets driven back. At some point, he's going to get off of this block. So that's what it says. You want to know what's going on? Go look at that. Now that we got that out the way, please stop with this trying to, well, what does he do well? There's concerns. You should have concerns about people. As my man Wallace said, you can have the girl of your dream, but she's going to come with some flaws.
See, that's where I kind of have, that's kind of why I have like a little bit of issue with the whole idea of like drafting players and then having the expectation that your coaches are going to make them better. That's their job. Like that is literally literally their job. You draft guys based off potential, and your coaching staff is supposed to take that and build upon that. It doesn't matter what you think about them. You can sit there and be like, well, Jack Campbell has flaws. So does Jalen Carter. Maybe not as many, but he has some flaws that it's going to have to be coached out of him too. Yep. Jack Campbell has the foundation that they feel like, you know what, we can build upon that. Mm-hmm. All right. We need to get him to process quicker, and we need him to fire off quicker. He's great in coverage. He seems to be a good tackler. He misses a few more tackles than he needs to. But again, I think that's also from being late. I think that's from him not being able to see what he hits all the time. These are things that are correctional. These are mental things like, hey, you need to start thinking the game faster. Yep. 100%. I would rather give me a guy that like tell me that you need to help a guy think faster than tell me that you need to teach a guy how to just do basic things. Like you don't know how to function as a linebacker.
Correct. And to your point, Miko, again, that character, his character flaws, they don't exist. The kid is God driven, family first, family oriented. So he's already a team player. You're not going to have any character issues with him. He's coming in. He seems very humble. He seems like a team player. Like whatever I need to do in order for the team to succeed. Those are the guys, like you said, you cannot coach that. You cannot. Everything else can be coached up. Hey, you got to tackle better. You got to get lower. You got to get off the ball faster. Those things can be coached, but those other things cannot be coached, man. Especially when these guys, Luke talked about it last year with Tavon Thibodeau. Like, he was a diva. Like, he's like, he knew it all. It's like those things it's hard to break a young person of that mindset.
Well,
So,
and not to mention, like, how do you teach that person, right? Like, if we're talking about, like, hey, the coaches need to be able to teach these players. Some of these guys have so much talent. I've been a 5-star. I've been the best player on my team since Pop Warner, and now I'm making millions of dollars. How are you gonna tell me what to do? Like, some of these players, it's like you bypass them because, like, yeah, he's got a lot of talent, but is he coachable?
And I think that's why we didn't, like you said, with the Jalen Carters and with some of these guys, man, the ego, and we live in a day and age where, like, the ego is what people value most. Like, TikTok and social, the flash, the glitz, the glamour, that's, but I salute them I salute Brad Holmes and what they're building with these picks.
And I give Brad Holmes credit for what they're doing, only from the simple fact of what we got here from Nick Gunjack. People have been crying for 3 years about drafting a linebacker, and when they do, they still cry. It makes no sense for me.
Yes.
Do I think that there are other linebackers I would have rather had? Yes. And do I think I can still get them? Yes. And that's what I'm saying. I'm with you, Nick. We needed a linebacker. I don't care what nobody says. We needed a linebacker. Everybody and their mother told me how great Kaminsky is and Isaiah Buggs is. Now you're mad because we didn't get Carter. Okay, fine. Right?
Right.
Could we have did things different in the draft? We sure could have. We could have not have taken Okuda. But, oh, wait, somebody did tell y'all about that. I did. See what happens? I'm trying to keep Patty Luke in wraps. And all I'm telling you is right now, I don't have
Give the people what they want, Luke.
I'm trying to hold it back. I'm trying to hold it back. I don't have to like what they're doing. But I get 100% autonomy to destroy them if it does not work out. I don't gotta like it right now. Most of the Lion fans were not happy about Frank Ragnow until they were happy about Frank Ragnow.
Yeah,
facts.
Yeah.
So I don't gotta like it right now. I'm cool with that. But in the effort of keeping it objectively there, I'm just trying to say, look at what's really going on when it comes to these teams. Look at what they're really doing. And so all I'm saying is guess what? Many of the people you want are still available in the second round. And this is where I'm finna piss everybody off. Y'all not gonna like me. Because while I agree about certain trends and things, y'all not finna like what I'm finna say.
Will Levis, ain't you? You about to pitch the fans on Will Levis.
Listen.
Levis looked distraught and defeated like he was looking for the exit.
Broken. That man is broken inside.
Listen,
I think he could find.
I think he got some bad news, but I'm gonna go around the panel and we're gonna have this conversation. Miko, as our guest, I'm starting this off with you. I gotta ask you. You got 3 picks. You got pick 34, 48, and 55. Who are you taking with those picks? I want the players. If you can't think of a player name, at least give me the position.
No, you good. At 34, I'm taking Brian Branch.
Okay. You gotta tell me why.
Brian Branch is he's a versatile defensive back. I love Brian Branch. I think he allows that secondary. Like, when you look at who they've added in free agency with CJ GJ, Cam Sutton, and Emmanuel Mosley, like, those guys are a little versatile. They can play inside, they can play outside. And especially with CJ GJ playing inside, outside, or safety, you get Brian Branch where if Chauncey plays really well this year, you have someone that can fill his spot if you don't want to pay him $18 million a year. Because I think Brian Branch can do the same thing. He can play safety, he can play nickel, he can play outside corner. It just becomes a matter of what you want to prioritize him in. And I think you give Aaron Glenn a younger version of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson where he gets to have that same type of impact player on his young defense. So that's why I would go Brian Branch at 34.
Okay. And at 48?
At 48, give me Steve Avila if he's still there. So I mean,
okay,
give me offensive line help. We had Eric Schlitt from Pride of Detroit on our podcast. last week, and he kind of, you know, laid it out to us that like, yo, getting an offensive lineman would basically allow your offensive line, like the entire unit, to be set for like the next half decade just by having another affordable offensive lineman that you can kind of rotate in and not have to be able to commit so much money to either Vitae or Graham or anything like that. You have somebody that's young that can kind of step in and fill in. So give me Avila. If not Avila, Torrance, if he was there, I would take either of those guys.
To the chat, let me know. If you don't know the name of the players, I want who you're taking at 34, 48, and 55. And if you know the name of the players, give me the name. And if you don't, give me the positions for the next 3 Lions picks. And if you say trade up, I'm sorry, not sorry. I got to get at you. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Okay? No. That ship has flown. Once the first round ended, we're done. We're taking what we got. Okay. All right, Rumble. Oh, you know what? I'm missing the pick. 55.
Oh, 55. Keanu Benton. And that hurts me to say because I really want them to take a receiver, but now they don't have a pick in the 3rd or the 4th round. And I don't know if there's going to be a quality one in the 5th. So, but I'm still going to go defensive tackle, get some depth there. So whether it's Benton, Benton would be my first choice.
Okay. All right. My man Rumbles. If you don't know the names, at least give me the positions. I want to know with the next 3 picks, what do you want them to do?
Yeah, I really, really hope that they go after Joey Porter. It's a shame that he's still there.
The Pittsburgh at what, 32, right?
Yeah, he's
Pittsburgh,
still there.
Oh, they out there rubbing their hands. They like, yeah, bring that.
No, bring them all home. But yeah, obviously cornerback. You know, I think we need that. Regardless of we just need a cornerback who, you know, they're going to be blessed. You know, they're going to have Aaron Glenn, and they're going to have, you know, CJ or Gardner out there, who's a disciple of Aaron Glenn. So I think whoever we draft at that you know cornerback is going to be blessed to be around those 2 guys. And then again, to Miko's point, we do need offensive line. I think we need to solidify that. You know, Vitae, whatever. That was that was an experiment gone wrong, in my opinion. Another Patricia purgatory-like move. I don't know why they signed him so much. But yeah, we definitely need to address O-line. Then we need versatility. So I'm going to go again, kind of with Miko here. We need D-line or another linebacker, somebody that we can you know, hopefully have them play on the line if we need to, or fall back in coverage. But I like the shape of the defense. We got a lot of guys who are versatile. We got a lot of guys who you don't know who you don't know who's going to be blitzing. You don't know who's going to be falling back in coverage. Much like last year with Hutch, he dropped back in coverage and picked off Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers didn't see that happening. I didn't see that happening. But I kind of like what is shaping up as far as the defense. It's getting younger, but we definitely need to get some more help on that side of the ball. There's no way. So yeah, two out of the picks need to be defense for sure.
All right. So to the people who just jumped in and trying to figure out what's going on, we are now discussing the 2nd round. We obviously got 3 picks, 34, 48, and 55. I'm asking you to give me the 3 names of players that you want at those picks. And if you don't know the names, give me at least the positions you want to see them draft. Just to go over a few of them, we got D tackle, Avila, center, or offensive tackle. Is Porter still available? He is, but I don't. If he gets past the Steelers at 32. Oh my God!
Hey, we need Antoine. We need Randall to work his magic, man. Hey, we need Randall, man. Hey,
if he gets past 32,
this fan base can't handle them passing on another corner.
There's no way in hell. I'm just saying, if he get past, he's got D-line, cornerback, or O-line for the next 3 picks, or Michael Mayer at 48. Okay, DB. I want to make sure I hit on some of these ones and just want to see what we got going on because I'm about to upset the whole entire fucking establishment. It's coming. I promise you.
All offense. I know.
I'm about to upset. It's not my fault. It's how the draft went that led me down this damn road. We got my man Paul Jarosz in there. He says Benton, Brech, and Avila. So he went basically with a hybrid.
See, I can't trust an Avila because we already got our heart broken by one in Detroit. So
well, we got it broken. Oh, you talking about? Wait a minute! I had to catch myself. I said, "Oh, he went baseball on me." Okay.
I forgot about. Shout out to Lions Fan Express. I forgot all about Keon White. Keon White would be a great pick.
Let me go ahead and upset the people. Fuck, I'm sorry. Not sorry. Chris White says D tackle, cornerback, DN / linebacker. We got Quentin Goss. It says wide receiver, linebacker, DB. Is Drew Sanders still available? He is. Lion fans about to lose it if they take Michael Mayer.
Oh my god!
At 34. Well, you know,
cue the Halloween theme music.
You know, you celebrated. You celebrated when we got rid of TJ Hockenson, so don't stop now. This is the whole viewpoint for me. Everything that you're doing, keep that same energy. All that blind following y'all, keep that same energy. Don't stop now. 34. We got my man Brent Keon White. I forgot about Keon White too. Keon White and Hendon Hooker. Let me get it. At 34, the Detroit Lions should select quarterback Hendon Hooker. Oh, Luke, you lost your mind. Why are you doing this? He's not going to be a starter. You say you wanted a starter. I know. I also want a quarterback of the future. And in my opinion, Hendon Hooker is the best quarterback in this draft. That's just my opinion. You can hate me now or hate me later, but that's just my view. Here's what I do know. With that, he's got to sit a year. And we had no problem with the receiver sitting a year. I had no problem with the guy who fell to you in the second round taking him. It's great value. He's an accurate quarterback. He's got mobility. You obviously like Miko. Miko wanted Anthony Richardson. You're going to get somebody with a skill set similar. At least he can run and throw. So
I ain't even mad at that pick. I like it.
I don't hate it either. I think I would still take Levis. If we were going quarterback, I'm taking Levis before Hooker, and it's the age thing. Does it not bother you? Does it not bother you that like he'll be like close to like 28?
No,
by the time he's the starter.
Nope, he's 25 now. And I think football age matters when you're playing and you taking a beating. He ain't taking no damn beating sitting on the sideline. Nobody's hitting him. He's fresh. The same way with running backs. I've seen running backs who were extremely young, but they had a whole lot of carries on them, aka Kevin Smith.
No, facts. So I'll ask you the same question you asked me yesterday during our stream. Do you think he beats Goff for the starting position next year?
Yes, 100%. Okay. In fact, I think he gives you a reason to tell Goff goodbye.
Okay.
All right. Now that's at 34. I take Hendon Hooker. I sit there because I believe if you pass on Hendon Hooker and you sit there with the Rams at 36, who's trying to find a quarterback, who tried to trade Stafford to get some capital to get a quarterback so they can start working on their future.
Which, by the way, was the most finesse move of all time. I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, but
it wasn't when it first happened.
The picks got to pan out. And so right now we got Iffy, who looks like
Iffy.
J-Mo, who we don't know what he is because he's going to be out for a little bit longer. And we got Gibbs.
Literally gamble. We gambled with him, literally.
I'm just saying. So at this point, we haven't seen the return on our trade.
Yeah, we literally gambled with him.
Peter Van Lorehaven says, any news on if we are trading down? For what? To what? What? We picked 34. Trade down where? You mean like, go back? I would if you tell me I can get like an additional pick next year, I'll do it. But if you're just doing it,
give me a third this year. Give me a third or a fourth this year. Because if I can't pick in the third, if I trade back a couple spots in the second, but you give me a fourth, I'd probably do that.
Yeah, but I want that pick next year. I want that second next year. You're going to have to give me something in return for next year. I'm still focusing on the future, right? But that's just me. I'm taking Hendon Hooker at 34 because if Hendon Hooker and Levis is there, come for the Rams pick, they taking one of them quarterbacks. Stay with me now.
Fact.
At 48, I'm taking Avila. Now, why? Because the books say so, and if you add him in there. Just go back. Now, they're going to think I'm being on some hating stuff with this one, Miko. They're going to think I hate with this one. Just go back and watch what they did to y'all Michigan fans. I'm sorry. The dude, all you Mazzy Smith lovers, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
You had to take it there, Luke.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It's the truth. I go by.
I was like, ain't nothing to be sorry about.
Now.
Mazzy Smith allowed himself to get whooped on numerous occasions. Steve was the only one.
Trust me, I'm just telling you what I saw that man do to him. I went, oh, that's how he play. I loved every bit of what I saw him do, and I love what I saw him doing versus Georgia. And I went, oh, okay. So I would take Avila. Now, many of you are going to say, Luke, but what about the defense? The defense. There's some things that could change, but I'm not anticipating Joey Porter being on the board for us at 34, and that's why I'm going in this direction. Now we get down to pick 55. And again, y'all going to get mad at me. Because if I'm stuck there, you're not going to like this. I'm taking a tight end. I'm taking Darnell Washington.
And I ain't mad at it. Take Darnell Washington.
I ain't mad at it either.
So here's my logic.
Round.
Here's my logic. Just stay with me. Here's my logic. In my opinion, the Lions has told me that they like their defensive depth at the D tackle spot. They like their D ends with having Houston when everybody was screaming go get a pass rush, and I kept saying, but you got Houston. Well, he's a situational guy. He hasn't played enough for you to make that judgment. So let's not do that. And we still got Romeo Core. We still got Julian Ocore. We still have Aiden Hutchinson. We have those pieces. I don't see a need to go there, right? And the reason I'm doing this is because many of the guys that I still want, I know I can get in the 5th round. Like I still want Isaiah Moore, and I think he will still be there in the 5th round. A linebacker who can come in, play special teams, and give you relief and make you forget, Enrod, even though y'all love his cowboy boots. I still believe that I can go out in the 5th round and get me a kicker, something that many of you want. You all want Jake Moody. Not sure why you want him in particular, but hey, to you people who want him, God bless you. You can still get that. And you got another 5th round pick, which in my opinion allows you to now address taking another player, aka a receiver. At this point, for the people who is like, what does this do? You got all these running backs. You might as well make sure you can run this ball in its entirety. You need what happened to us in the Panthers game needs to happen to everybody else. And so at this point, since he's already changed up the way that this is going to go, it is what it is. Now, could I have did something? I knew it's going to come. I knew Luke is the #1 Wolverine hater in Michigan. This is not true.
Michael Lenny still exists.
The tape said
we got one on the team.
Like it wasn't me, it's the tape. All right, now listen, we got a guest coming in the building, and this man and his goddamn names. I can't say enough about what's going on here. Shout out to my man Raw Podcast in the building. I listen. I think you was hitting on something. Shout out to him because one of the things that Raw Podcast brought up was we're hyping up about Gibbs, but you could have had Tajay Spears out of Tulane. And if you're not familiar with Tajay Spears out of Tulane, go and look at Tulane versus USC. That boy do pretty much the same things. It's just, and I think he's a good runner. But let me bring in my man, who's I can already see the shit coming. My man Mike Kimber. What up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on,
much.
fellas?
Luke, what's good, Mike?
Happy
Luke That's not true.
Well, Jack Campbell, bro, we got a stud, man. I love Jack Campbell. Yeah, man. Malcolm Rodriguez. What's that?
You think he's a stud?
I love Jack Campbell.
He better be a stud. I'm just happy it was a linebacker.
Hey, man.
So I was shocked it was a linebacker.
I'm just happy it's a linebacker. But you like it. So give me your reaction. I saw y'all reaction. I still think that the greatest reaction came from King when he got up and was like, nope. Get somebody else to do it. I thought that was a great reaction. But what was your
I thought when he did that, he was saying Will Levis. Because he was looking at me and just said, like, Levis. And I said, oh, no, this is not happening right here. But I was shocked. I didn't expect it. But at the same time, I had a real big gut feeling they were going to go running back. I just don't know it was going to be Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. I thought maybe at 18. That's where they would go. So it was a shocker, but not the player.
Yeah, my thing was they addressed things that I felt were issues. I don't think running back was that high up there in terms of a need. But at the end of the day, when you look at the history of it and them basically trying to recreate the greatest show on turf, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I get that part of it. I just, I'm showing this because I know some people they're not understanding what my issue is. And my issue with Jack Campbell is because I hear a lot of things, and I'm like, y'all need to stop just listening to what people say. It's not always that case. This idea that he's a good blitzer, like, who said this? Like, I'm not like, who said this? All right, for the people right here, this is clearly him blitzing. I don't know if he's excuse me. I don't know if he's trying to blitz or he just wants to make it to where he looks like he's blitz, but this is not effort I want to see. This can be cleaned up, but get off the block, press him. Come on, keep working. That didn't happen, right? This is the one that tipped me off the most, okay? This is what I'm talking about when I say my concerns. He's going to have a free shot to make a play on the running back, and he hesitates, and this is why the running back does the following.
I'm real happy, though, we got Jack Campbell, dog. Like, he's one of my favorite players in this year's draft. I've been talking about Jack Campbell since week 4 of the NFL season. Raw Podcast been talking about him, too. I think he fits perfectly what we're doing. Was he my number one LB? No, it was Trenton Simpson. That was my number one linebacker. But at the same time, to me, this linebacker position has been absolutely ass for the past 5 years. And I am so tired of watching it. I felt like we needed to get a linebacker. And I was absolutely shocked he was at 18. I'm happy shocked. But we got our linebacker. Now I can stop complaining and bitching about it.
You know what I was happy about? I don't have to hear this Malcolm Rodriguez BS. He's the next great this. Nothing about his play last year was like, yes, you need to make him a starter. We don't need this no more.
Mm-hmm.
This is ridiculous. But this play really made me mad because I've never seen a linebacker break down this early in my life. And this particular play was very telling. Now, just for the people who are Michigan, who say I don't give Michigan no love, I just felt like Jack Campbell needed to commit to that gap and go. So, you know, looking at it, he's going to go, but watch how soon he breaks down. Watch how he breaks down before the end. Now, you can see the hole. You can see where the running back want to go. He's trying to get outside, but right between the tight end and the blocker, he's right there. All these things that I'm doing, I'm trying to just show you the hole. It's open enough for him. Just keep coming. Why does he now stop and starts to angle? It's all for him. It's all for him. Just go. That hole is right there. It's literally like you're going to get a free hooker. Just take it. It's there, right? At this point, he's breaking down. No. If he just kept running, no matter what that running back did, that play is dead in the water. So, again, I have my concerns, but we needed a linebacker, and I can't do it.
Linebackers' lives matter. It was proven on it yesterday.
Super Saiyan Lion says Malcolm will still be relevant in the defense regardless. Yeah, I don't subscribe to the idea that Jack Campbell is more of an issue for Barnes than it is for Malcolm Rodriguez. He instantly takes the spot from Malcolm Rodriguez.
Yeah, but I think by default though, it kind of pushes them all down. Because like
6'5",
Derek ain't
linebacker.
Yes,
Yeah.
6'5", playing middle linebacker next to Alex. I mean, unless they're just looking to give Alex more, breathers, then yeah, maybe somebody. But like, I don't think they want to take Alex off the field. They talk about how he's the quarterback of that defense.
I agree.
So
Mhm.
Alex is not.
No,
coming off the
I
field.
agree. But what I'm saying is,
I agree.
They've already only given Burns 34% of the snaps, and he was playing majority of the snaps on special teams, whereas Malcolm Rodriguez was playing 57% of the snaps on defense and like 17% of the snaps on special teams. His snaps on special teams finna go up to about 57%.
Oh no, facts. Like that's what I'm saying.
so-
But I think it's a trickle down effect. Like they're both going to lose snaps on defense. Like I think Jack's going to take a lot of those snaps.
Yeah.
It says I do love the end getting driven by 86 to Europe. That was Van Ness. That's the guy the Packers just took. That was Van Ness getting driven to the middle of nowhere. Other thoughts though, Mike. I've asked this question already, so I'll give you your shot at it too. The Lions obviously got 3 picks in the second round, 34, 48, and 55. And I know that you thought they were going to use those picks to trade back in the first, and they did not. So my first question is do you think they should try to use those picks to trade up to get a player? That's the first one.
No, we got pick 34, and so I would just go ahead and take that selection. A lot of good talent on the board. Quarterback, you got Will Levis and you got Hendon Hooker available. You got Joey Porter Jr. available, Osiris Torrance, who I love, Avila available, a lot of good talent on the board, and I thought they would trade back in there because I assumed they had a 3rd-round pick. I didn't realize they didn't have it with the Arizona pick. So we have 3 second-round picks, but we no longer have a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, I want to kind of go back and look at this because Will says, ain't that also the end's fault for getting wide to the point where a semi-truck can get to
I mean, yeah. No, it's a defensive fail. You can't.
Let me look.
Anybody comparing Jack Campbell to Jelani Tavai, that's ridiculous, man. Jelani Tavai is ass. Jack Campbell is much better than that.
You know what? I'm going to say you can look at that, but this is neutralized. So, okay, this is just me. I often, and I probably shouldn't do this, but because I played linebacker and because I got the opportunity to talk to a Ray Lewis and a few other NFL linebackers who gave me great tips that really made a difference in my game. At this point, you can argue that he's probably going to go outside, right? Like you can maybe say he's going to go outside at that point. But in my opinion, as the play breaks down, at this point, he has to stick his foot in the dirt and go. He has to, because once he sticks his foot in the dirt and go, I don't care what the running back do. You're going into it like a heat-seeking missile. But
I was gonna say, no matter, Jack should have filled this gap,
Absolutely,
earlier to make him bounce. Because if you make him bounce outside,
Well,
that tight end's going to hold. That tight end is going to.
Jack Campbell will probably not be going against DeAndre Swift since his ass is going to get traded today or tomorrow.
I think that would be a mistake if they didn't trade him, though, Mike. I really think
they're they're trading him, right? He's gone within the next day.
You know what? I hope they don't. I think it'd be a mistake. That's just me. I think it'd be a mistake.
I do too. Like Monty don't stay healthy either. So like we gotta quit. We gotta quit acting like Swift is the only one that be out here getting injured. Monty that dude don't stay healthy either. So give me all 3 of them. Just rotate them in so at least
he gone, man. Swift gonna be gone within 24 hours.
I mean, listen.
Team's calling right now, big league today. Yeah.
If he is, then we're gonna have. I think we're gonna regret that. Malcolm Rodriguez will be a rotational linebacker and a gunner on special teams. 100%. Yeah, that's where his ass was in the first place. He's not a starting linebacker in his damn league. I'm sorry. I don't care who the person is. Now, I'm just trying to answer the question that was posed by Will. For me, and I think if I go back just a smidge, look at where the line of scrimmage is at, and look at where the hell Jack Campbell is at. At what point did he get to the line of scrimmage? Like this is the problem that I have. If I'm looking at this, at what point does he get it? Just run through him. All this trying to break down is run through him.
And I get you, Luke, but like, I mean, going back, like, hold on, man. Like, how do you get driven that far outside?
You know what?
Because like that,
because you know why?
Egregious. This is egregious.
And he uses blinker.
You know
he was
why?
going right.
I think what you're seeing is he's standing there, but he's trying to still keep like his leverage on the outside because he's thinking that if he feels he gets outside, I just let him go and I try to get the running back. That's what I'm
saying is if he sets that edge, like and he got and make him bounce,
he got blocked the ball.
I just
like you still see the tight end moving his ass like it's. But my point is
carrying him. He out here.
Listen, you don't want to see some other clips because I can show you some stuff that you'd be like, bruh. Because it wasn't just this tight end. It's clips I got of tight ends blocking Jack Campbell to Egypt, and I'm like, yo, this this is frustrating. But in this particular point, I feel like he needs to hit this gap. That's all I'm saying. He needs to hit that gap with conviction. He needs to. And then look, even when you look at where he broke down at to do the little juke move, look how many yards he's off. 5 yards off. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he needs to be in the middle.
You didn't have to bite on that.
Yeah, he needs to be in the middle of that hole, like you said, the middle. Make him anticipate which way. Yeah, I agree.
That's all I'm pointing out. Now, Mike, this is your opportunity. You got 3 picks, 48. 48, good grief. 34, 48, and 55. Give me the players you want them to take as little as a damn hour. You know, come out what 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Yeah, I want to get Joey Porter Jr. I think with him still available, I think that'd be a nice one. I'm gonna throw a curveball, and people are gonna hate on me. I don't care. I'll take Will Levis in the second round.
Yeah,
I think
go,
that's a
Mike.
value pick
Let's
right
go,
there.
Mike.
They finna burn your whole house now. You better-
All right, they can burn my ass all down. We're talking about a second round pick now, and I want to get Osiris Torrance.
now, keep in mind, Mike. Keep in mind, I did a show with Dan Talks Football as soon as the season ended, and he said, "What is a player that you think you can see the Lions taking in the first if they were going to go?" And I said, "There's one player that I think fits Dan Campbell's mantra of grit and his style of quarterback, and it's Will Levis." And he's like, "What?" And he was like, "No, that can't be right." And I'm like, "I'm telling you, it's something about this kid that he likes." So if he's there, and I think he will take him because he might argue, "Hey, at least he's available to be the backup." I get it. I personally would take him.
Yeah, man.
But you would take,
Yeah, I'd take that a hooker too. Yeah.
You don't think the Steelers is going to take Porter at 32?
They probably will, but if he's available, definitely want to get his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't expect him to be there. He was a target for me at 18. So if you could get him in the second round, I'd jump all over it for sure.
Man.
And I think that would be a value pick. But you're right, they definitely could take him. But there's some talent out there. Cyrus Torrance, I'm dying for. Please, God, that would be a great guard to have on this offensive line. And again, Will Levis a value pick. I know people get pissed off, but we're talking about second round. Dude's supposed to be in the first round for sure. So sit behind Jared Goff for a year. If there's an injury, come in. He's big and strong and physical. We want to get a 4th and 1, he can get it. So I have no problem doing it.
Yeah, you heard, did you hear what I said I would take?
I did not hear, no.
Okay, so I don't think Porter Jr. is going to be there. If he is, this is a no-brainer for me. I've had Porter Jr. as my number one corner. So if he's there, you take him. I don't think he will be there, but whatever. But I had us taking Hendon Hooker at 34. At 48, I had us taking Avila, the guard out of TCU, because Steve-O gonna judge me because he said I'm the biggest Michigan hater, but he did everybody dirty on that line. He was disrespectful, and he did it to Georgia too. And then with the last pick at 55, I took Daryl Washington, the tight end. Yes, I know this is gonna have you throw your cap.
Man. Come on, dog. Like, I get it though. It's a value pick, right? At some point, as much as I hate tight ends, he's so big, 6'7". As much as I hate tight ends, that is a value pick. And would I be happy about it? No. But I would understand it. At least it wasn't round 1.
Nope. I'm just telling you that's what I would do based on that, because I believe everything I can get in the 5th round is basically filling spots anyway. They have basically staked their claim with these cornerbacks that I think are questionable. No pun intended. But I think they feel confident about what they have out there, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I still think in the 5th round with 3 5th-round picks, you can walk out with another linebacker, a kicker, and a damn receiver if you wanted to. That's just my view.
Yeah.
Now
there's a lot of talent.
I'm finna play a little devil's advocate because Craig Ferguson makes a statement, and I'm gonna let Miko handle this one because he says, "When are we getting our run stuffing D tackle? It isn't Benito."
Ooh.
I mean, if it's a priority, it has to be in the 2nd round, I think. I don't think you wait until the 5th to try to get a defensive tackle to be a run stuffer, right? I think you have an opportunity to get a guy like Keanu Benton. Keon White is there. Is the kid from Northwestern, Adabare, is he still available?
He's still available.
So, like, you know, if you want a D lineman that's a little versatile, can play inside, play outside, you could also go that direction, but it has to be this round. If they prioritize defense, if they, Brad Holmes talked about how Isaiah Buggs played way too many snaps for them. They want to give him a little bit more relief. Moro Ojomo is another one. He might be available in the 5th, but again, we just saw in the 1st round guys that we thought were going to go in the 2nd, go in the 1st. So I don't want to lean too much on this idea that this is who's going to be available in the 5th. So take who's available now. If you think defensive tackle is a priority, you need to take that position in this round.
You could trade up too. We got 5 million draft picks. So if you got a couple 5ths, You got 2 5ths and 2 6.
No, I thought
Like,
we had
so a
three
guy,
fifths.
Perry says, well, just wait to 5th round. What do you mean wait to the 5th round? If someone is there, I'll trade up and get them.
I thought we got 3 fifths. I thought we ended up getting an additional 5th in that trade. I thought we got a 2nd and a 5th.
Oh, we do. You're right. Yeah, that's right. We got now 3 5ths and 2 6s. So, I mean, you could easily there's no way. Like, we already got 2 players on the team in the draft. You got 3 freaking 2nd round picks. You got 3 5ths and 2 6.
Yep.
Not all these guys are going to make the team. So you got to be able to take some of these 5ths or 6ths and move up in the draft and get another player then.
Do we know Levi Onzarriquez? Do we know his current health situation at this time? Is he still relevant?
Season workouts. He's at off-season workouts.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, but wasn't he in off-season workouts last year too?
I'm just like,
Yep.
Rumble asked the question. I gave an update. That's all I know, Rumble.
He's breathing.
Right.
He is moving his body.
Miko's like, he has a pulse. He has a pulse.
Okay, I was just checking.
All right. We got 5 minutes left. I do want to hit on any questions you guys have for me or anybody on the panel. I try to give y'all guys time to come in. I'm shortening the show up a little bit early so y'all can get back. I know I'm not sure, Mike. Y'all was going live for the second round too, right?
Nah, I'm spent, dog. I'll just make a video when a player gets drafted. But it was a long night last night. I'm tired as a bug, bro.
I love the energy from all you guys last night, man. Like, shout out to all you guys.
Hey, that was fire. That was fun, man. I had people coming up to me and a bunch of girls and stuff. It's crazy.
Listen, Craig said, Luke, try and pronounce that Northwestern guy name. See, why? Why are you doing this to me? Even Miko, Miko's like, don't even do it.
Go ahead, Luke. Go ahead out here. Sound racist.
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm gonna take a hard look at it. Hold on. I'm gonna try to see if I can get. I'm gonna try. This is gonna be a fucking disaster. You guys ain't nothing for this one. Okay, let me see.
Gotta go.
Hey, you be
Peace,
safe out
guys.
there, Mike.
Be safe, Mike.
And fuck is this, man?
Miko, stop, man. I was trying to hold it back in.
No, man.
Hold on.
Man. I was
Okay, hold on. Okay,
I
I got it. I'm slowing it down. I got it. You ready? Do I diddy dum diddy do? No, that's not it. Mama say, mama say, mama say, mama say. Nope, that's not it. Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Nobody can fucking say his name. Not even his parents. Why is y'all making me do this? Nobody can say his damn name. You know I wasn't gonna be able to do it.
Oh my God!
It's an audacity for me, but because you challenged me, I took my shot. Nobody can say his name. Could you imagine somebody trying to say his name in the middle of an intimate moment? How long it's gonna sound for that to come out? Bing. It's like his name looked like a lot of noise in the garage. I'm sorry. I'm not the guy. We've been on for an hour and 28 minutes. I wanted to keep the show short because I went hard yesterday and I got these kids.
Listen here. The fact that I'm still married today.
Yeah, exactly right.
Testament to my wife.
Shout out to the wife for giving me a chance to free my mind. We'll get into the final thoughts then. Rumble, give the people your final thoughts, man. Craig, I can't rock with you no more, man. You got me out here trying to sound silly, and you know damn well I wasn't gonna do it. Go for it.
Man, shout out to you two, man. Both of you. Your energy with this whole draft this year. I'm sure you guys are like me, man. Hopefully next year we can all kind of link up together for next year's draft in Detroit. But yeah, man, I enjoyed both you guys' podcast past few days. And I enjoy the fans too, man. The chat. I think we're in for a real treat this year with this team. I think we're in for a real treat with the fans, and now that we know the NFC North is up for grabs, I cannot wait. And shout out to the Ford family for bringing back. It was good to see Megatron and Barry with the 2 draft picks we picked up last night. So culture is changing. Again, I'm excited. I know you guys are excited, and Yeah, I'll be checking in with you guys from time to time. So I appreciate you letting me rock with you as always, Luke. And
Hey,
Nico,
100%.
keep doing it, man. Respect, guys.
appreciate
100%.
it, man.
Obviously, Miko came in, had a little fun with me, man. I'm excited anytime he come on. And you know what? Honestly, he didn't even check me today. I'm proud of myself. I made it through. And I mean, I thought he was gonna kill me with that goddamn tight end pick, but he didn't. I'm impressed.
No, I love Darnell Washington, man.
I'm
I just
impressed.
I was trying not to get killed by your audience, so I went Keanu Benton. I wasn't trying to rile no.
You gotta be careful. Some snipers out here. You gotta be careful. All right.
Thanks,
But give the
man.
people your final thoughts, man.
Final thoughts, man. I think the biggest takeaway from the first round is this. No matter how you feel about these players, I think the one thing that we all have to acknowledge is that we got good football players. And that in itself should be an encouragement that, again, that this team is going in the right direction, but it should also be a challenge to us as fans, where if you want to be this vocal, if you want to have such aggressive opinions, then like, yo, do more than just look at people's big boards, do more than just run mock drafts, watch some film. Like really watch film, because if you want to be able to have like an opinion that matters, and I'm saying this about myself as well, like I need to do more than just again, read articles and look at big boards and do mock drafts. I need to watch actual film, because that's what's going to help you be a little bit better as a fan, and as somebody, as you kind of analyze, and as us as being like content creators, it'll make it that much better for us when we're out here trying to make content. Is going that extra mile and not just allowing other people to do the heavy lifting for us.
Listen, I cannot, second the watch film thing as much more than what you did, because I do all my stuff based on film. I have a lot of views and unpopular opinions from people, because they're like, "Oh, but that's not what it." And I'm like, at the end of the day, what you don't realize is my views are not based on what other people say. In fact, I often stay away from what they say, because I just want to see what it is for myself, and I go through snap by snap, which takes so much time. And I see so many people who pump out videos, and I'm like, yo, how? There's no way you got through all them tapes that quick. Not if you fully studying it, but again, to each his own. I take my time and I go snap by snap, play by play, and I just look at whatever I can find to see. But it's draft day, and we got an opportunity to see if the Lions can make 3 picks in the second round, turn it to liquid gold. He has a chance right now to literally right the wrongs of the Lions' history when it comes to the second round. If he missed on all 3 of these picks, y'all not gonna get Patty Luke. Y'all gonna get Angry Luke, and Angry Luke is worse than Patty Luke. Okay, I'm just telling you right now, he's something different. All right, he take Patty beyond that. It's vengeful almost in a way, so you don't want that. But today, people, you know me, I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note, and that's what we're gonna do today. It's a very simple message. Again, I go, and sometimes things come to me, and sometimes they don't, but I do not know what this means, or I don't know who wrote it, but this is a simple one. It is better for you to have a friend as an enemy than a family member. This is crazy, because I see these moments where we put a premium on family, and many of us look at family as it pertains to blood, but most of the people that we call family don't share the same blood as us. And when you make an enemy of a friend, at least you know what you're getting into, because the friend is there, and that's the process. But it's the family member that we must focus on, because instead of making enemies with them, we need to figure out ways on how we can bend this rule of making them become an enemy in the first place. And that's a simple answer. Love goes so far. Patience is the measure. And at the end of the day, there are some people who we need to be a little bit more patient with. There's some people we need to hold on to a little bit closer, because sometimes it's the grip that keeps them close to us. It's the grip that keeps them asking us questions. Sometimes the enemy that they become is in the anger that they have no one else in their corner. But when your corner is as good as Floyd Mayweather's, you can dodge a few more punches. When your corner is as good as a Mike Tyson, you don't feel like the punches hurt as much. And when you got a corner that is designed for you to be held on to, that is designed for you to have patience, you find yourself in position to not strengthen the person around you, but to strengthen yourself, to make yourself a better person, to put yourself in a better position of patience, something that we must all learn. I can't tell you how many times I have sped my way down the road just trying to get home quicker, only to realize I only shaded off 30 seconds. But when you are speeding through this process of trying to keep patience, and you're trying to make sure that you don't have an enemy in a family member, but a friend, you need to understand that the greatest tool and measure will come from your patience. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ourselves together, get your libations and all your things that you need. Get ready for the draft that's getting ready to start in about 24 minutes. And if you don't do nothing else, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are